Hi Popcorn Junkies. No trailers come along and then suddenly two come along at once. One for Marvel, Secret Invasion, and now one for Blue Beetle. I'm going to have to be really brutally honest. I'd never heard of Blue Beetle until, obviously, this project was in development and everyone was getting excited about it. This is obviously part of the DC Films, DCEU, but this is part of the former manifestation of the DC film universe prior to James Gunn, who obviously has taken it over now, is directing a new Superman film. And, you know, it's anyone's guess as to whether DC is going to go darker, what with Joker 2 coming out, the Batman working for them, Aquaman 2 is coming, all that kind of stuff. Is it, is this going to be one last sort of hangover, if you like, from the sort of glossy, shiny, I don't know how to describe it, sort of shiny, not necessarily interested in how it sort of interconnects with everything else. But as I was saying this morning, sometimes I think Marvel films get sort of overly obsessed with how everything slots together, and they throw away, they sacrifice good storytelling and good characterization. Now, one of the things that is notable about Blue Beetle is that this is a definitively Latino superhero. It stars a principally Latino cast. It's going for that cultural specificity in a way, in the same way that Shang-Chi was aiming for an Asian audience. This isn't just aiming for a Latino audience, but it's cast with a principally Latino cast. So it stars Xolo Maridueña, he of Cobra Kai. I've never got to grips with Cobra Kai. There is such a sort of die-hard, dedicated audience. Guys, are you Cobra Kai fans? Am I missing out on the whole Cobra Kai phenomenon? Am I right in thinking it's a spin-off from Karate Kid? Karate Kid wasn't one of those films that kind of lit my fire or floated my boat in the 80s. It wasn't one of those ones that I was particularly excited about. I've never been a big fan, actually, of kung fu films or martial arts films and stuff like that. So anyway, Karate Kid. Anyway, it stars Xolo Maridueña. He features as Blue Beetle, and I think that he's the third manifestation. There's been many Blue Beetles, but this is the third manifestation to take on the Beetle kind of outfit or uniform or superhero kit. It revolves around him being given or stumbling across or finding a scarab, but that's kind of like a beetle, isn't it? A scarab. And I always remember in Dungeons and Dragons, if you found a scarab, it could also be something that kind of is like an item of clothing, like a clasp, like a badge, like something that kind of ties a tunic around your neck, a scarab. Anyway, so he finds this mysterious alien scarab in a fast food container. And we get something, I think, which is a kind of teen superhero scenario. Could Blue Beetle be DC's kind of answer to Spider-Man? I suppose Flash is the teenager out of his depth with superhero qualities, but perhaps Blue Beetle might do the same. This will be interesting. I mean, DC films, Black Adam. I'm not that excited about the Flash, though I did like the last trailer for the Flash. I do like the darker stuff. I'm not so much of a fan of the sort of shiny, glossy, sort of, slightly more sort of, primary coloured, old-fashioned sort of superhero films, sort of in the vein of the original Superman, sort of shiny suits and capes and all that malarkey. I kind of like stuff that gets a bit darker, a bit grittier, and a bit more sort of psychological. But who knows? Maybe this will do that. So let's check it out. This is Blue Beetle, DC's first Latino superhero with his kind of Iron Man-like alien scarab suit.
Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Jaime.
They don't get out much. I just want to rock. Jenny?
Guard that, that's my wife. But do not open it.
You went in to get us jobs, and all you brought back was a hamburger?
Okay, I don't think it's a burger.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
Scarab.
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
Jaime.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. What the?
Host acquired.
Who said that? Okay, it's gonna be okay! Oh, space.
Re-entry systems ready.
Wait, no! what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
What is going on?
I just wanna rock.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
I think I cut a bus in half.
The Scarab chose you, but it belongs to me.
That low you feel for your family makes you weak.
I just wanna rock.
The universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
That's my heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, thought to 5.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just wanna rock.
It's like Batman stuff. Batman's a fascist.
I just wanna rock.
Did he just say Batman's a fascist? That was the funniest bit for me. Okay, I know that this was originally planned for HBO Max, and at the beginning of this trailer, it felt a bit televisual. It felt a bit small screen. And then the Scarab came in a box of, was it chicken or something? And then when it launched onto his face a la Alien style, I thought his transformation was fantastic. You had tech, high-tech suit, bodysuit, Iron Man style stuff, but you also have the dirty, dank, almost hairy armpit aspect of a beetle. You know, when you look at a fly or a beetle and you look at their legs and it's all a bit mucky and it's all a bit, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit Jeff Goldblum the Fly-esque. Really like that. Nicely comedic. I like the colour. I like well, it's Blue Beetle, isn't it? I like the colour. I think the parallels with Spider-Man are valid. He's a beetle. That's a spider. Spiders eat beetles, so who's stronger? Like the Blue Beetle. Love the moment where he chopped the school bus or the bus or the tram or whatever it was in half, like that. Yeah, it's the rest of it was kind of like, you know, that sort of normal kind of superhero fodder. Didn't really get a sense of him at the centre of it, how good he was. I mean, obviously the bemusement of suddenly having all these powers, flying out into space, falling back down, coming to terms with it. I do like that kind of stuff. I think coming to terms with newly found superhero qualities is it's a rich way to proceed with a film. It's an origin story type stuff. So Blue Beetle, I'm not entirely sure if I can see him kind of intercepting the darker films that are coming, or the more, not even darker. My sense of the James Gunn Superman film is that they're just going to be a bit more layered. And I don't know if this is layered enough. But that said, it looks zingy, it looks bright, it looks rich. Filmed for IMAX, I think that would be excellent on IMAX, especially when he pulled out that great big chopping saw.